I'm Lucas,
Hi, I'm Chris.
and we are here with our friend Francisco Sola. How are you doing, man?
I'm doing really well. How you doing?
Yeah, I can see on your voice that's
Yeah, it's a bit lower than usual. The register. Yeah, it's a bit taken, but it's okay. I've been actually using it to record different things. I've been recording some vocals that I couldn't record usually because I have a raspier voice right now.
yeah, that's cool.
But yeah, now my voice is off.
Yeah, I think we spoke with you last time, last year, I guess, right?
Yeah, when we were doing the video clip for Self Sabotage.
Yeah, that's right.
We spoke on and off,
Yeah.
like a couple of times, but yeah. How's the studio going? I've seen that you've been working a lot.
I must say that you were because we did some works before creating the studio without putting the name Sparks. You know,
Okay.
we're doing videos before with my name and Chris' name, but when we put the studio, you were the first person that reached out to us to do something. So you
Like first official client.
yeah, you were the
Really?
first official
I didn't know
Sparks.
that.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
didn't know that. That's nice.
Yeah.
I feel important.
So yeah, since then we've been, we did a lot of stuff, and we've been, putting a lot of work, back to the studio and trying to grow. And we also moved it. We were talking on another place before, and now we got this house here with a corner for us to actually do the studio, because before we were like on our living room. So
Nice.
yeah, I think slowly things are growing, which is it's also good.
You're still in Portugal, right?
Yeah, important.
Porto. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
how about you, man? You also
I'm still.
did a lot of stuff,
I've released. Yeah, I've released a good amount of stuff. Yeah. Uh, I mean, I've released since then. I've released a couple, like 4 or 5 singles. Now I really have a lot of stuff to release. Like for my album, I have like a single a month till the end of the year, and that gives me time to finish till the last couple of songs that I have to finish. And then I'm doing a stupid amount of music on the side. Some like for my main project, there are songs that I make with my friends, but with the same friends, I'm doing like a side project of a bit more electronic music and electronic infused elements. So I'm doing like
Interesting.
a bit of everything. It's more like we meet up and see what happens during the day. Like we're doing like music without a lot of pressure, trying to be playful with music
Sounds
and
fun.
not having the pressure of, okay, this is a project or this is something or this is this huge thing. No, we'll make songs. We'll make songs, and each song will be its own thing. And like, it's fun. It's been fun. I've actually written my favorite songs in that way. Some like yesterday. Like, it's funny because there's like 2 people there. Okay, in that project. It's like a couple of collaborator of mine that is an artist called Felix Alvarez, that we work actually like quite closely, and we do a lot of things together. But there's also the producer that I work with the most, that is called Bruno Giroldi. And it's funny because we go to the studio and we're working on a song we did like a couple of days ago, and we always end up starting a new song and never finishing the last song we had to finish. So it's like opening a new project every single time. But we're not gonna not do
That's
it.
good. It's sign out that the creativity is flowing, I guess.
Yeah, it really is. It really is. And I don't know, maybe it's something about his house. I've written more songs in his house this year than in my actual home. Like, it's weird.
Yeah, and you are using your your voice too? You're singing on these new songs?
Yes, I'm singing and basically everything. If sometimes we try to use like the three of our voices for it not to be like only me and me like, because like we all have different colors of the voice, so sometimes like maybe my color is better for the chorus, and they'll do layers, and then I let them sing on the rest of the song,
Mhm.
and try not to be so try to everyone let their part, like
Yeah,
basically.
yeah, sure. That's good. It
It's
would
not.
be interesting to hear your voice in an electronic song. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's actually quite fun.
Hmm.
I put a much more deeper voice. I put a
Yeah.
more I put different hats. I'm quite a for a guy that's trying to be an artist. I'm quite, I think, quite as a producer. Like
Uh,
if a song needs something, I'll do what the song needs. Not like, okay, I have to do my singing style perfectly. If not, it's not a Francisco Sola song or something like that. It's not. I don't
yeah.
think like that.
That's nice to have this perspective of wanting to do different things, even in music, you
Mhm.
know?
No, totally, and I've I'm telling you, I'm writing better songs because of that. Because like the thing about the difference about folk and pop music or poppier music, like in folk you have like that, you have a place, like not be the best melody, but if you're saying something meaningful behind the song, like the song is still good. If you say if the melody, obviously the melody has to be good, but if you're saying something meaningful behind it, the song is still amazing and it still touches people. But the thing about pop music is that you have to, of course, the lyrics has to say something, but if the melody is not perfect or extremely catchy or something, it's not a pop song because it's not going to relate to the other people. It's not going to relate to a mass amount. I always say that pop music becomes pop music when it really engages with people. If not, it's a failed attempt.
You sent us some songs from the for the album, right?
Yeah, those are the singles I was telling you I was going to release from now to November.
Yeah, and I noticed that in them there's a lot of variety in them. There's a lot of, they are pretty different
No,
from
yeah,
each
yeah,
other, right? Yeah.
and from the
Uh,
stuff I've been releasing before, it's like it's a different, it's a bit of different vibe. Yeah.
yeah, so it's gonna be cool to see how you put them together on an album, because that's something that when I read that you are working on an album, I was excited because it would be cool to have like a full experience instead of just like listen to the singles, to
No,
see.
totally.
Yeah, yeah. So how are you planning, the album? How has been this, you know,
This process.
yeah, this process?
Yeah. So basically, I've been working with my producer like since like releasing I'll Be Gone. I'll Be Gone is the first single of the album.
Mhm.
And I've been working with him. We basically, the way we worked was like I was sending him like while I wrote songs, I sent him like voice memos, and we tried to pick the best songs we found out of that. And like there's so many different styles because like we wanted to show like a bit of versatility in the songwriting because like for example the single I'm releasing now, Safeless, it has a different part to it, but the bulk of the song is like very Francisco Sola acoustic song,
Mhm.
uh with a sentimental hook.
Mhm.
But like we tried to show a bit of versatility at the same time, like that those were the songs that were appearing for me when I wrote. So basically I didn't want to or make more acoustic a song because I was writing acoustic songs. Like if the song wanted to be an indie drum with the drums in the indie song with a couple indie elements and me singing it a bit of a different way, like we're gonna still make it that. Like we're not gonna force something to be folk because of
Mhm.
the sake of it. So basically, it's a combination of very folky songs, or some folky songs with a bit of indie, and for the rest of the songs in the album, I'm actually putting in some songs in Spanish. Now that I've found my
Oh.
it's gonna be a bit of a mix.
Yeah, because I noticed that too after you released this Self-Sabotage, that you are putting out some songs in Spanish. How it is for you? It's different.
I mean,
It's hard.
I've been learning how to write like non-redundant lyrics, because the thing about like also writing in a language that everyone and well where I live knows it. That's not the language we speak. Like you first you have a like a fear of being redundant, because like Spanish has so many words like that you can use, that like being simplistic sometimes is a bit too obvious. Like it's too obvious to the listener. And in English, you can hide a bit more with the words. Like you could hide a bit more in the delivery. If you're saying a stupid word in Spanish, it's gonna notice. Like
I think in Portuguese it's kind of the same too.
yeah, and in most like
Latin.
Italian, Portuguese, Spanish, etc. Those type of languages, it's French. It's quite obvious when you're saying nothing.
Mm-hmm.
In English, there's so many music that you're like allowed to do it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's interesting because like the Spanish songs are folkier again. Like they go back to the folkier stuff. We're trying to find a way to mash the Spanish the Argentinian sound with the English folk I'm doing. Like make it sound a bit Americanized or English.
Oh yeah.
So like I didn't write in Spanish till I wrote the song with my friend, and at first I thought like I can't do this, but I didn't really. When I started writing in Spanish, I was okay. This is the language I speak every day. Of course I can do it. It's like it's stupid that I thought that I couldn't. Like I just have to use words in a different way, and it was a bit of a process, but like I wrote some songs I really like in Spanish, so it's funny.
Oh, it's your first language is English then?
Yeah, my first language is English. That's basically why I like whenever I wrote something before I started writing music. If I wrote a text and I had to like write an idea or something, I usually did it in English. That's the thing. I thought a bit more in English. I thought more like I didn't like when it's not that I thought in English, I think in Spanish, but I'll like do something, I don't know, like something written, I do it in English.
Yeah. Yeah, me too. I also like when I was doing comic books and stuff like that, I usually write in English, and then when we met each other, I think Chris found it strange that I was writing everything in English.
For you, it's strange because it's not your.
Yeah, it's not even, they don't even talk in English here. But for me, it was more like in a way to kind of like it's not a character, but kind of like it's distance myself, I guess,
Yeah, true.
in a
True,
way.
true, true.
Probably, yeah, that was the trick.
You can.
So well, just to know more about you, when did you went to Argentina and start, learning Spanish? And it
So
was when you were
basically,
a kid, or?
yeah, I lived in. I was born in London, and I lived
Yeah.
there till I lived there and in Birmingham for like till I was 4 or 5, and then I came in. No, till I was 4, and then I came in 2003 to Buenos Aires, and I went to the school I basically go to. I basically went to my whole entire life, and where all my friends are from. And yes, I've been here since then. But like I went every year till 2016. I went back like to London because of my dad's job, like every summer. So I
Oh.
only had a winter. I only had winter in my life till 2016.
That's cool. That's
And so at the
a
same
great
time.
a great trip.
No, I really hate. It's not that I hate summer, but I'm too white for it. Like because of the white thing I had, because of the vitiligo I have in my hair, and I do have the same thing on my legs. So like I have to be very careful with the sun.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I have to put like a ton of sunscreen on, and I have to be like
But
really careful.
that's white hair is super stylish, man. It looks really good.
I've grown to like it. I've grown to like it.
Yeah. I
But
tried. I wanted to paint my hair white last year, but
yeah.
I went to a place. It's true story. I really wanted to, put another look, and I was into Andy Warhol, so I
Yeah.
was like, I want to turn my hair white. But I went to a place, and I'm from Brazil, and maybe because of that, my hair is super black. So
Yeah.
she told me, yeah, it's not something that you can do like in one session. You need to come back here a lot of
Yeah,
time,
no,
and then I ended up like,
Also,
forget
he
about
was afraid to
about
do that on you.
Oh yeah, she was kind of afraid to do it. She was, I'm not sure if you're gonna look, good. I didn't care, because hair is,
yeah.
I don't care, it's something that grows up again. But yeah, I ended up, but I wish I had like a white hair like that. That's cool.
A friend of mine actually did that
Oh yeah,
a couple of days ago, and he has a very black hair, and he had to do it was like 3 sessions or something like that.
yeah.
And then you have to wear the purple shampoo for it to maintain it. And
Oh yeah, yeah. It's a
it's
whole
not
process.
just one thing or one day. It's a difficult,
Yeah,
and
I know.
it's expensive to also
Yeah,
to
so
maintain it.
maybe it was better that I didn't end up doing.
No. So I was saying I've lived till I was 5 or 4 in London, and then I lived basically all my life here, but going back to London a bit to accompany my dad on the winters. He went there.
And how was for you, it was much of a like a culture shock or not so much?
I mean, I remember I couldn't. I remember a couple of things. I remember I couldn't pronounce the double R's, like the when I went back to when I went to Buenos Aires, my football club was River Plate, and I couldn't pronounce River Plate, and I couldn't pronounce it, so I was like, "Soy de River." Yeah, I couldn't. My friends mocked me like endlessly, and like it wasn't a cultural shock, but at the same time, like I remember like my accent going away because my friends say like you're Argentine now, yeah. Hey, stop with that English bullshit. You're Argentine, like, and till I probably fought it for longer than I should have, like because I am Argentine at this point,
Yeah.
like, and I fought it a bit too much for a while. You're a teenager, so you want to be a bit different. So, oh no, I'm English, something like that. You want to feel special.
During your daily routine, you mostly speak in Spanish,
I
I
speak
guess, right?
completely in Spanish. I only speak in English when I'm singing and when I'm
Oh yeah.
talking with people for Zoom.
Oh yeah.
Like, yeah, actually co-writing and talking with people for Zoom is like the only way I haven't lost my speaking English.
Yeah.
It's difficult because singing in English is easy compared to speaking it.
Yeah, for
Like,
me it was a bit different because I came to a place that also speaks Portuguese, but it's another Portuguese. So I learned the different words that they speak here, but the accent I kept the Brazilian accent, So because it was strange for me saying words that I always said, but just forcing to say them with an accent, it was a little different.
No, I wanted to ask you, like, what's the difference between Brazilian Portuguese and Portuguese? Like, I I think I knew there were some words that were different, but I didn't know how much if it is. I think I understand that it's more the difference than like Spain Spanish and our Spanish.
Yeah.
Like there's a bigger difference.
Yeah, it is. What do you like?
What do I think? I think it's basically the accent.
But there are some rules that are different.
Rules?
Yeah, like
in grammar.
In grammar, yeah.
Okay.
Like we in Brazil, they don't have much verbs here. You know, like we say, like let's say walk. In Portuguese, we say caminhar, caminhando. It's not verbs. It's not verbs. It's coming. It's gerúndio. Gerúndio. Is like
I'm understanding because it's the same in Spanish.
So in Portuguese, in Brazilian, we say caminhando, andando, cantando, things like that. And in Portuguese, the OG, the original Portuguese, they say a caminhar, a andar, a correr. You know?
Okay.
Everything is a, and then the word.
Okay.
Yeah.
And also there's a lot of verbal terms, you know.
Like that? Like what?
It's difficult because I don't know how to explain in English, because also in English there's not a lot of those.
No, I understand the
yeah.
But if you want to say a bit in Portuguese, I can understand. I don't speak it at all. I can understand a bit.
It's like if I say caminhar, if I want to say past, I can say caminhei or caminhava, and it's
okay.
Pretérito perfeito or imperfeito. So caminhei, caminhava.
Yeah. And Portuguese there's a bunch of rules. I imagine Spanish also has those.
No. It has similar rules. Like there's a rule difference between the Spanish and us. There's just words that we don't use, and words that we invent. Well, I don't know if we invented, but that we use in Argentina that usually don't make any sense to Spanish. So there's a meme of like people learning Spanish, the actual Spanish in school, and coming to Argentina and like we don't use any of those words. Like we just invent words and go.
Yeah, when I went to Argentina, I met a musician. Actually, I think I told you about him, and then we went to Uruguay with him, and I noticed that for him the Spanish in Uruguay was very different, you know, and it's it's two places that are next to each other. So if there's difference there, I imagine that with like Castellano and Spanish from Cuba, I guess it's even more.
Yeah, I mean, the thing about Uruguay is in Argentina, not that much anymore. But if you saw a video of Argentina in the 90s or before that, you could see how like people sang the words. It was a bit more of an Italian side of it. And people talked like very. There's still that. There's still that a bit of that, but it's not much. And in Uruguay, it's a bit more. I feel like it's a bit more.
They used
neutral.
They do this in the 90s.
Probably. They I feel I go to Uruguay quite often because my dad is Uruguayan, and I can see more there's a couple of word difference, and but I feel the Uruguayan is a bit more neutral with the words, with the way they talk. Is a bit more neutral in the sense that Argentinians are very exaggerated with the word. It's like it's that Italian thing. It's literally that Italian thing.
Yeah, I can see. And speaking of Argentina, how do you say it's kind of like the musical scene over there, or at least the kind of like the world that you are.
How did you find that world?
Yeah. That's also a good question. Yeah. How did you find?
It's difficult because um my train of thought at the time that I realized I was a bit wrong, and then you have to have some sense of community. That's why I started going more and meeting people, and it's actually been really nice. But my thought process was like, I want my stuff to talk by itself. I don't want to be like in a trying to be. It's not fake nice because I'm going to be nice because I try to be nice to everyone, but trying to talk to this person to just connect me with that person, and then having this show in that place, and if you play in that place, that's better than that other place, and having that whole music. And I know that's how the world works, and I understand it, but at the same time, I at first I didn't have the energy to do it. I now have a bit more energy to do that, but like. And I have more music recorded, so I'm starting to go to I feel my job in part. I feel less pressure because I've done a lot this year, and now I can go to like today I'm going to the at night I'm going to an open folk thing that happens every Wednesday, and I've made really good friends with those people. Like I played football with them on Monday. Like they're really nice, and the music there is amazing. But that's a very small scene of the scene in Argentina. Then there's like two big scenes. There's the indie scene, that's the like maybe 6 big bands and the rest of the band, or 10 big bands and the rest of the bands. And that scene like was very big, was very powerful for like the last 6-7 years or 8 years. It is like the biggest beside the pop scene. That was like an amazing scene. But I think not my opinion with that is like it got stuck a bit with the sound of it. That like the sound started to mesh a bit. I don't know if is that's what if it's like they're all working on the same studio with the same people. I don't know if it's that or what, but I feel like the sound is a bit the same right now. That's why I hear it, but I don't hear that much music in that much Argentinian music.
Even though you live in Argentina, you at the same time you live on the internet, where there's kind of like another scene, I guess, you know.
No, totally. I've met more artists that I like for the internet that actually going to concerts.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think today we can do this social work on the internet and find our scene.
Yeah,
you don't have to do this. We don't have to do this thing of, oh, we should go there and there will be a important person that will give
totally.
Yeah,
it's much better on the internet.
Yeah, but also
totally.
I kind of understand why things work it or still work like that, because you know there is a site that is very like you're saying, like I need to go to meet people, and then these people will give me jobs and blah blah. But also I understand the point of view, like if you are like let's say a movie director, and you hang out with somebody, you have a good time with him, it's, you know, since you had a good time with him, it's normally that you're going to work with him maybe in a movie, and then you're going to hire them. So I don't think it's only you know, negative, you know, that
No, totally. I've learned that side. I've learned the side of actually like hanging out with people, and I thought it was much more close, and the people were much more close than they actually were. They were very inviting, and that was like a pre-concept that I had, and I learned how to take it out of me, because like I really like people. If you make music, they're gonna be like, yeah, one of us. Okay, perfect. Like and it's not that deep. There's no roster spots in music, even though sometimes we act like it, but there isn't though. If you make a great song, everybody's gonna listen. If I make a great song, everybody's gonna listen to it. Like it's just like that. It's not that we're gonna be fighting for a spot. That doesn't exist that much.
Mhm. But and how did you like start it? Because I imagine that you played for a long time, but how when do you say that you started the this project, let's say Francisco Sola that you have now?
Yeah,
I mean, I've played the guitar for like since I was 6, and I did like 3 years of vocal coaching. But I didn't even I didn't really combine both. I played some covers when I was like a teenager or something like that. But I didn't really write a song till the pandemic, till 2020. I didn't write nothing. So I was basically finishing my degree as an economist. I have the degree up there in my room,
Mhm.
and I finished
Congrats.
last year.
Congrats.
Yeah. I don't really use it right now, but yeah. Uh, and it's like it's funny because like I had a I wanted to do different things that before that year of the pandemic, and then I realized, okay, I love making music, and I basically wrote songs for like a year, and then after like in 2021 when everything was a bit lighter, uh, I went to a friend's house and we recorded my first EP, and then I never stopped basically. So like I'm actually quite new to it. I'm like 3 years isn't a lot. Like actually 2 years releasing music.
and at this time you were already sharing on TikTok, because I remember you talked with us uh, that
Uh,
you used to share a lot on TikTok
I
your
still
work.
do that. I have to find a better way of doing it because like I'm tired of my own bullshit right now. Like I have to find better video content
Mm,
because
mm.
I'm really tired of doing the same stuff. Even though even though if it works, I'm really tired of it. I have to find a better way to use it. I'm trying to do that.
But
At the
would you
same time,
say that doing that helped on, you know?
with my
Or,
music, completely. Some of my most loyal fans are from TikTok. Like, uh, the thing about TikTok is like I have very high comment engagement. So like I've sometimes see the same people, and those same people tend to stay, and it's nice. Like there's a good amount of people that follow me on TikTok that I've seen like for a while appearing on my feed,
Mhm.
and like it's been like more than a year, and they're still appearing. Like it's nice. And I started uploading on TikTok in 2020, like a couple of covers things that I had done, and then when I started releasing music, I used it like nonstop because besides a couple of pages into the internet that you can try to submit your music to some blogs and playlists and like um YouTube channels or something like that. TikTok is the best place to promote music. Like this, it's the most organic way.
Mhm.
Like people are when you upload a video and a video does well, you see a direct
Oh yeah.
correlation to what's happening on the Spotify thing. I think people connect with the less filtered part of TikTok.
Mhm.
Like the less like the content is a bit more raw in
Mhm.
general,
Mhm.
and people connect with that. People don't want a I mean, huge productions do well on TikTok, but people
Yeah,
don't want
I think
are not.
people like to see the real life
Yeah. The people prefer,
to
and
relate with them.
that's a bit what I want to do with my page a bit more, like show people me in the studio and trying to
Mhm.
be a bit less. This is a only marketing stuff for my music. I want
Yeah.
to show the people a bit more of a process, but it's difficult. But at the same time, like you're in the studio and like I'm not gonna put my phone there and try to record myself doing a song. Like it's
We are also trying to, focus on stuff that we want to do. Like this idea of like having this kind of show now, it's, the main intent is for us to have these conversations because, I wanted to talk with you, and we want to talk with designers, and we want to have these conversations. And then of course this will help to promote us and to promote you, but I think that's kind of secondary, you know. It
No,
will
totally,
promote,
totally.
but I think it doesn't have to be the main goal to be, you know, promoting
Totally,
material,
totally, totally,
you
totally,
know.
totally.
Yeah, but it was
No,
cool to hear you are speaking about how you started, because it's very similar with us, you know. We also started during that period. I think a bunch of creative project, not
yeah,
even
yeah, yeah.
creative, but like
Dreaming
yeah,
projects.
dreaming, you know. People that always wanted to build a company in whatever area. I think that period was super important for that.
No, no, no. It was like you had nothing more to do, so you had to do something. Basically, yeah. That's the reality about it, because like I had Zoom classes, but Zoom classes were like more than is it was less than half the effort. It was really simple. Like it wasn't that difficult with the Zoom classes and the Zoom exams. So like people like basically first had a lot of time to think what they actually wanted, and
Yeah, I think
that's
that
like
was important,
is
because I feel that before that we were everybody was kind of like in a
in a
circle,
role in a
in a row. Yeah.
constant yeah, like you life happens. Life was happening to everyone, and then like stop. You had to stop for a year or stop for like 8 months or 9 months, and like people had to decide if they wanted. Some people lost. A lot of people lost their job. Had to decide, what do I actually want to do with my life, and like I was lucky enough that I was still studying, and I had like still had a bit of like being a student time,
Yeah.
which is like I is a different mindset. You're not thrown into the world. You're still a student. You have still the same type of well, you have
Freedom, I guess, right?
yeah, some more freedom. Yeah, but it's funny. Like I know a lot of people that have like changed their life direction in the pandemic. I know a lot of them.
No, yeah, for sure. No, so you know, first we are talking that we told you before that you are the first one that reached out to us.
Oh yeah,
And then you know, after doing the video, it's one of our works that people most comment about, you know. We had
yeah,
a
really.
lot of other musicians that came to us asking for something similar with the video that we made for you. So it's a special, you know, project on our portfolio, I guess.
No, I really love that video. I really love that video. Like, yeah, I remember like when it came out, like people loved it, and like I remember like if another musician, Skinny Deeper, says a friend of mine right now. You made a video with him, and he told me like he came because of that video.
Yeah, we are doing another one for, I don't know if you know him, but he goes, his name is Cheyenne Regan. Cheyenne Regan.
Yeah, yeah, he's a friend of
You
mine.
know
He's a
him?
friend of mine. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, he's a friend of mine.
He's another
He's so
one.
he's
He's
so
a,
nice. He's
yeah,
Yeah, he told us about you.
yeah. And we are
yeah. Well,
doing
he
one.
he he loved self sabotage. He was the biggest self sabotage fan
Oh, yeah.
ever. He actually hired the guy who'd play the trumpets in self sabotage for a
Mhm.
song of his. Like
Oh.
he really loved that song.
And that song, because I think I saw you on your Spotify, maybe that one it has a lot of streams. It's I guess it's one of your
Um,
biggest one or the biggest one.
yeah, it has 80,000 streams, a good amount of streams. Yeah, yeah, it's been doing well. It's been past bit lately because of a couple of songs that have been doing extremely well, but it's up there. It's up there. And it's 90,000 streams. Okay, that
Oh,
grew a
great!
bit. That
Congrats.
grew
Yeah,
close to
because I
100.
and back at the video, I think we, you know, we of course we do a lot of stuff, but I think that one, the aesthetic, you know, I think it really mixed it well with the music, you know.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
No,
The vibe with the music was
yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
perfect. It really was.
I don't even know how to explain, you know, those things.
Ah, me neither, me neither, me neither.
It's just it is what it is, and uh
I remember that we listened 3 versions of the song.
Yeah, I remember that you sent us.
Oh yeah. Because like
version.
I was sending you like the demos as it went. So basically,
I
like
remember that there was one demo that I don't remember exactly what it was, but that you kind of like start laughing or something like
Yeah.
that in the middle, right?
yeah, maybe yeah.
You went more like deep into the character, more.
No, yeah. I sent you that demo, and my producer forgot to take that out.
Oh, it was
It
a
was
mistake.
yeah, it was a mistake on the first one, but
Oh, I
Uh,
thought it
the
was
fight.
more like the character, like.
No. That's that's the way I am in the city. I'm basically trying out stuff, and sometimes I like my latest song, Seasick. Um, there's a bridge that I'm basically yelling at the microphone. I'm basically yelling at, and it's funny because like we had to cut out the laughs before and after that part because like I was trying to put myself into the character, and it what like that take and the song is basically the first take we did in the take off of the bridge. It's basically the first take. I was laughing so much because I couldn't get into the character I wanted.
I just think that I love that demo.
Oh yeah,
With this
the original
laughing.
at the end it was really cool to see the process, and I think all the versions, every one of them have something special.
No, totally, and I
We
mean
were
it's funny
talking
because
with we had another episode with a friend of us called Freda de Souza, and she's really into listen to demos, and we were talking with her about how it feels like it's more personal. It feels like a letter or like a sketch. It's good
yeah,
that.
the thing about the demo is you capture the thing you had when you wrote the song,
Mhm.
and that is the constant issue in music is trying to redo the demo and having demoitis, and
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I know a lot
sometimes
of that.
sometimes the demo is even better. Like the I had one song that the demo is like basically the final song. That's El Marisho, a short one that I wrote that I released at the start of the year, and that basically was well the demo that worked,
Yeah, I know a lot about
and
that
it
because
shows.
I really like this band called Animal Collective, and they
Yeah, I
normally
love them.
they play new songs before recording, sometimes like
Yeah,
years before recording, and then people go with they record the song live, with using an iPhone or something, and then the fans are really into that version, recorded on a shitty iPhone, and
yeah.
then when they go to the studio and they properly do the music, never they are like, oh, I prefer that version that they played live 3 years ago,
Yeah, no.
never captures that. But I think it's also something, it kind of relates with memory maybe, and it's something that now is stuck with you, that version. So kind of hard, I
no,
guess.
and people like get accustomed to one thing, and when it changes, people like hate change, and that's the reality. Sometimes like the thing about songs is like maybe you wrote it 2 years ago, and it's very difficult to have the same feeling for a song 2 years later.
Hmm.
Like it's very difficult. It's like basically impossible. So like you have to put the song on another state of mind. Like you have to try to find a new meaning for a song because you're never gonna recreate that feeling. It's impossible. It's impossible to recreate a feeling you had.
Yeah.
If you're going to try to recreate a feeling, it's gonna be forced. Basically,
And I
you have
guess
to
when you
find a
record,
new way.
like with the phone, it also captures the ambience too, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, totally.
At this podcast, we the idea is kind of also to talk a little bit about visuals and stuff. I noticed that you normally have a photograph. I don't know if it's something that you took or if it's somebody else. How do you imagine how to dress the
You can
song?
talk about the album that you are working on.
Oh yeah, you can also talk
Yeah.
about this new one.
So so basically, most of my singles are or even EP and something like are photos that I've taken, and I like doing that because I like the idea of somebody walking the same route that I walked to take that picture, and finding the actual album art of a song
Mhm.
in real life. That's the way I think of it. Like if people actually, if you go to a couple of places near where I live, like, you can actually find the album art for some of my songs.
Mhm.
Some others are a bit more difficult. You have to go to the south of Argentina, and the one with the mountains and something like that. It's a bit more difficult because you have to go somewhere that is in Buenos Aires.
Do a
But
Francisco Sola tour visual
yeah, no, I mean
over artwork.
no, I'm not. I don't have that much fans, and the fans are not that serious about it. But but yeah,
But so
so
you
basically,
you took all the photos. They
yeah,
are.
yeah, basically all 99% of the photos are mine.
Mhm.
So like that I like that feeling, that feeling of like it being a photo I've taken, and that like trying to like match photos with feelings on the song. Like I like that. I know that people have told me like you should do like different album arts because like it's not the most professional thing in the world having just photos you taken as album arts, but at the same time for doing like the thing I like to do than
Yeah,
having
yeah,
something be that professional.
yeah, yeah.
So uh what I was thinking more maybe at the end when the singles are gonna be, the singles for the album are gonna be like still photos, but maybe the album, the actual album has something related to a photo I really like,
Mhm.
but just done a bit different.
You never thought about including text with the image?
I I've done it with one song. There was a collaboration with Genesis Richard. I usually don't like
Mhm.
texts,
Mhm.
and I usually I like it sometimes in certain. If I'm gonna do like I don't like text in photos. I like texting if I'm going to do like an actual album cover.
Oh yeah,
That's the difference. If I'm
yeah.
gonna take a picture, let it be the picture.
It's a
But if I'm
picture.
gonna do an album cover like ours in Saudade, there I like it. Or the other, I did a song with a guy called that guy called Genesis Richard. He's from Canada. He did an AI album cover where he was a designer himself, but did the cover with AI, and he put a flower heart on the bottom, and that was nice. That cover is nice. But in general, if I'm gonna take a photo, I'll leave it as a photo, and then I'm thinking for the album, like maybe to do something a bit more different, and
Mhm.
trying to mesh both worlds a bit, like it being a bit more formal as an album cover, but at the same time having that same feel of the pictures I've taken.
I think it's interesting because conceptually, even though I was kidding before, it kind of like creates a map of places that that you
Yeah.
went, and I don't know, maybe got inspired,
Yeah,
to
totally.
create these songs. So yeah, I think it's like we were saying before too. I think you should go by what you like, and then put like like we were saying before, like doing this will promote us, but this must be secondary, and I think
No, totally,
kind of like
totally.
the same, go first what you like, and then you get results anyway.
No, totally, totally. And like,
And there's no rules, there's no,
no, no, that's the thing
not
about music.
anymore,
Like,
like
if it,
before when
no,
things
yeah,
were.
yeah, and then before, yes,
Yeah,
yeah,
but
no,
no,
no, yeah,
there's no rules, yeah.
that's the thing. Like, I've seen like it's not gonna not be a hit or a very good song or a good or well streamed song because of the album cover being not as professional as it should be or something like that. Like people use every time like people make album covers of old pictures they had as a kid. People make album covers like of a load of stuff. So like I'm not that. I like I like my style of album covers basically.
Mhm.
And I wanted to ask you, it's difficult. It's difficult because like in an age of like music videos usually are horizontal, but we live in an age where every video is basically vertical, and
Yeah.
everything is like, have you like how my question is, how do you adapt to, like, have people ask you for vertical videos just to use as content? Have you done both? Have you like
Yeah, that's a good question.
Yeah.
Do you have an answer?
We're still doing the horizontal version, yeah, but we always do vertical parts of the video, like we cut promotional parts for, and people can put it on Instagram, on TikTok, and on on YouTube Shorts. But I know it's not the same because the full video is always in horizontal, but I don't know how it's gonna change because now people only see the vertical thing.
Yeah, I think there's like two things. One, sometimes people ask us to do something that is just let's say animated artwork.
yeah
And then this animated artwork, we already think of them in vertical, or a poster for a gig or something. We already thinking in vertical, or those Spotify canvas, they are,
yeah
vertical by nature. But in music videos, yeah, we always think them in widescreen. But what I started having in consideration is that when you turn things widescreen into vertical, of course you're gonna lose, the sizes, or
some
you or you
quality, yeah.
or you can like move. But what I try to be more careful is like when we do with lyrics. Sometimes we have like an illustration on the side, and then the
Yeah.
lyrics on the other one, and that stuff, it will be very hard to cut and adapt to vertical.
Yeah,
So I start
totally.
doing things more on the center,
More centered.
or
Yeah,
putting the two elements to more close to each other. So it's in short, I think it's just doing widescreen, but kind of already knowing that that thing will be mostly viewed and use it in vertical. Because
yeah.
I don't know, kind of like, I cannot say like numbers for sure, but I imagine there's a lot of work that we do, that the clips that they take from the video and put in vertical and share on the socials, they probably get more views than the actual final video.
Yeah,
Yeah, because the
yeah.
promotion will always be in vertical, so we can make a promotion on Instagram with the vertical and with the link for the full video, but we don't know
Yeah.
if people will
Yeah.
see.
Yeah, we kind of use the vertical and then we put the link. So, try to, guide the people to see the full version. But I
Totally.
I imagine not all of them see. And another thing that, especially like labels, they are using a lot this word kind of visualizer. Instead of like asking for a
Yeah.
music video, they ask for a
Yeah,
visualizer,
visualize it. Yeah.
which is kind of like a
Of
simpler,
like a 30, 40-second
just
clip.
something moving, basic. Yeah, do
Yeah.
something moving, so you can put the song.
Because they have to feed their YouTube also, so they ask for this visualizer to put on YouTube, but to use in vertical too.
Yeah, we are kind of like workaholics, crazy. So we even when they ask for a visualizer, we put a lot of work and try. We did some visualizer that basically look like a music video, because
No,
we like to, put the work. But yeah, that's a cool conversation, because things really are, changing, changed, and are changing.
no, because like the thing is like maybe at the what I've been thinking, like I want to have some video content that's a bit more like well done, and and I've seen that like animated videos like this in the style of Sabotage or different styles. Like maybe if instead of doing a full music video, I took like 4 of my songs and I did like 4 or 3 30-second snippets or 40 or 45-second snippets or 1 minute snippets of each one of the songs, that would be at this point of my career more beneficial than the actual full length music video that like is it's not a dying art because people still watch it a lot, but like I've talked about with a couple of friends that do trap music that is very music video centered.
Mhm.
Yeah, like they did a video and they spent a shit ton of money on the on a video with an amazing car and some girls around there. I'm like, what are you doing? Make more songs. I'm like, what? Like, and he's like, oh, you're doing so well. You didn't post any music videos or just one. And I'm doing like, yeah, because I release songs constantly, and and like I'm trying to now find a way in video to have some nice videos, shorter ones, basically.
Also, we had a talk this week kind of about this. Is that other thing that we can do is like when we do a music video, to use elements that were already made for the video and then create posters, create other things with those
Yeah.
elements. So it's kind of more, it's not just the video, it's a whole world, around the identity of the artist. So I think because even the example that you're saying with your friends, it's important for them to show cars and girls and all that, because it's not only the song.
That's the silent.
It's not only the song,
Yeah.
it's a whole identity and a whole, vibe that they want to show. So, you could explore, not only thinking in terms of one music video, like you are saying, but in terms of like content that, could, share an identity around the album,
No, totally. And it's not so. I don't think the thing is like, of course, I want to promote the album, and the album is very important to me, and it's taking a lot of time. But like some songs feel more music video we or like so I have a couple of short songs that are doing very well, like El Marisho and another one they called A Dream I Had in My Past Life. And I feel like those have a more like with Self Sabotage they have a more drawn type of vibe, a more indie type of vibe. Like my song, I feel my songs in the album have that indie vibe, but at the same time, like they're more of a song, a traditional song,
Mm-hmm.
and like maybe play with those shorter ones and try to find like
no, I don't think that every song needs to have a music.
no, I don't believe that as well.
Like going back to that thing about demonoids and stuff like that. Sometimes there are songs that I have a memory about them, and then they release a music video, and then my memory now is the music video, and I prefer when it was my memory.
Totally.
Even I shouldn't say that because I do music videos for a living. So, but that's the true, and I don't want to take more of your time too. We could like talk the whole afternoon here, but
I know that's true. It's been a pleasure. It's actually it's really been
it's really
it's really nice to talk to you too. Like
it's always good to talk with you too. How is the weather over there now? It's too cold.
It's I mean right now no, like it's the thing with Argentina is that winter is not very cold here.
Oh yeah, I remember getting some crazy wind over there.
Yeah, it's like in your state.
No, I think it's worst.
But you have some cold days though. Like today is 22 degrees in the middle of August. Like it's quite hot. But in a couple of days it's gonna be 10 degrees. So it's like a very varying
Yeah.
type of weather. Like there was one day that was like 26. There was one day it was like 1 degree. So it's all over the place actually.
Yeah, here is kind of like that too now. It's, you know, even during one day it's is always changing, raining, then gets sun, and then I think the whole planet it's
Global.
crazy,
Yeah.
you know, basically in a way. So
Yeah,
uh,
basically.
yeah, man, thanks again for talking. Have a get some empanadas. We really love
Oh yeah.
Argentina. We have some places here that they serve and they're so good.
I've been eating quite recently because of this, very close to the studio. There's a great place of empanadas, and we basically eat that every day.
That's good, man. Have a good one, and
yeah, you too.
let's keep talking.
Bye.
See you, man. Bye bye.
Safe place.